Just like David said, where do I go from your presence? He said, if I make my bed in hell, there you are. So he's always with us. Think about Jonah. He figured it out the hard way. Let's see, how would you like to be in the belly of a fish? I'll pass. Please. No, thank you. But we get in the belly of our garbage all day long. It seems like we can. Our nature will drag us away. He said a lot of things to the, you know, it just, to the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and he was showing them what they are and their nature and how they are, and we should heed the warning instead of think, wow, he was just talking to them, because he was talking to us, because he was telling them their nature and how they accomplish and how they come to that nature, and the things that they agreed with meant that they were invoked in it. So, I, I just watch what you agree with and where you go, and anyway, I shouldn't go there. I love you, Lord. We can't get away from him. He loves us so much. Think about it, mamas. When your children left home, you wanted them to stay, but you wanted them to go at the same time. And we're all that way. We want them to go, but we want them to stay so we can make sure they're safe. But we have to trust him. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I learned that one the hard way too, But we learn lots and lots of lessons in life. We learn these lessons so we remember who we are and whose we are. It's so important, because we get wrapped up and lost and wander around in our own little ways and our own little days. But he loves us. He loves you. He loves you more than you could ever know. Like I said earlier, you can't earn it. Nope, you can't earn it. You can't earn it. Jesus paid the price. He loves us. He is our great shepherd. Yeah. He felt it. He knew. He has the feelings of our infirmities. Yeah. It's our infirmities, the cares of life. He had to eat, he had to drink, he had to sleep. Heck, he worked. He was a carpenter. Think he was a great carpenter work. We look at it every day. We just breeze on by. With the span of his hands, he set the heavens. Can you imagine? Yeah, and we wonder what all these planets are out here and why they're there. Well, let's think about it for a second. Okay, we have all these little vessels in our body that flow from our heart, and it all functions to make us who we are in this flesh and make our flesh function. But do we ever stop and think that God had to put all this here, and even expanding, as everyone says it's expanding? Yeah, because he spoke it into existence, and it just keeps going. But the thing is that everything's there for a reason. Even he says in the beginning, he said these are for signs and seasons and days and years. Okay, well, he set it up. He set it in motion. Will it keep going? Yeah. It'll be seed time and harvest. Days and years. That's, it's for a purpose. And we sit and try to figure out why, when the answer is love. It's like in the beginning. I'm sure he loved the devil. It says it was an anointed cherub that covered with a great voice that could sing unto God. Think about it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure God loved him. He created him. But he loved him enough to let him make a mistake. Yeah. Did it affect us? Yes, it did. Could God stop it? Oh, yeah, he could stop it any moment. But he loves him like he loves us in our mistakes, in our errors, in our trials, in our going through life thinking we got it all figured out. You know, we make mistakes. But we are righteous in the beloved. We're righteous in him. We know his future. We know what's going to happen to him. There's a lake of fire prepared for him. But you know what? The worst thing ever is to be out of his presence, out of God's presence. Think about it. I really don't want to think about it, but the thing is that, what do you say to be outer darkness? He's light. He's love. He's light. And there's just no shadow of turning. He is light. He's the essence of existence. And he's the essence of love. True love. Not earthly love. I know we feel that love, but it's nothing comparably. He even calls it evil. So, hey, who am I? I'm nobody, I promise you that. It's just to know his love. How can we flow into the world? How can we be salt if we're not salted? That salt comes from him. It's a preservative to preserve the world. Yeah, as long as we're here, yeah, the world's going to go on. I promise you. We are the salt of the world. But if the salt loses its flavor, it's good for nothing to be trampled under its feet. Everyone says God's mad and God did this and God did that and God did this and that and that and this and then they point back at Job and say, look at all that Job went through, and yeah, God allowed that to happen. He allowed that to happen. Jesus wasn't here yet. We live in a whole different situation. But God was showing there is a man that lived in Oz. I hope I got that right. I might not have, but hey, what the heck? But God knew that there was a man. And he was proud of him. Oh my gosh. Proud enough to show him off. And say, look here, devil. Watch this. There's all places through the Bible where God shows himself. But he shows himself to you. But now he's in you. And he's with you, and he'll never leave you nor forsake you. Should we? But he loves us in spite of who we are. It's not what we do. It's who he is. If we only knew how much he really, really loves us. telling you. He'll show up and he'll visit you. I know. And you'll know. I'll tell you how. You know how? Because in that moment you'll realize who you are, who he is. And you'll weep like a baby. I promise you, I do. Every time he shows up, because I know who I am. I know my thoughts. I know my attitude. And I know the stupid things I think and do. And how about you? But he loves us in spite of that. Anyway, he'll visit you. Wrap his love around you. He's awesome. He's awesome.